Class 6B, we have two very special new students joining us today, Ivanka and Victor Volkov.
I can't play anymore. I just fully freak out when I do. And I can't tell my bros that because that'll freak them out because they think I'm a fully hectic legend.
We have a problem.
I'm teaming up with the Volks zone, okay?
That's right, new kids on the block at Block Street. Team Volkov.
So, yeah, the team Mahaki, good luck. You're gonna need it.
This time contact.
Hello.
Hey, miss. You look like you've had a makeover by the Fab Five.
Oh, no, Blakey. I'm Ms. Blarper. Ms. Crapper's my twin.
Don't make us look like losers. Crush them.
Face facts, bro. They're not cheats.
They're cheats, and I'm gonna prove it.
You getting this, Jerry?
Indeed, my faithful avatar.
Let's go.
What just happened?
The door just happened.
Freeze! Ah! Don't try anything.
Am I under arrest, miss?
No, I just always wanted to say that. My sister, Ms. Blarper, told me about the Butterfield rugby opportunity. Now, sign this. I'll add it to my collection for when you hit the big time. If you don't hit the big time, I'll use it as kitty litter.
Victor! Why are you talking to them?
Making nice with the enemy.
No, I was trying to steal more secrets. Really?
For real?
Yeah.
I've got some big news, eh?
What is it, Mikey?
Come on, bro, spit it out.
I'll tell you guys later.
We're gonna win a different way.
Which way, bro?
The Mahaki way!
Yeah!
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Ella from the Australian Children's Television Foundation, and I'm really looking forward to presenting this ACTF and ACMI session on Hardball Series 2 for Media Literacy Week. I'm beginning with, I'm beginning with an acknowledgement of country, and while I'm doing that, you are welcome to share the country where you are situated in the chat. So ACMI and the ACTF acknowledge the traditional owners, the Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation on whose lands we meet, share and work. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend our respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people from all nations of this land. So in this session, we are going to hear from some key members of the Hardball cast and creative team. Which means that we will get some great info and insights from the people who know all about what goes on behind the scenes as part of the production process. Hardball is an internationally renowned TV series and has won heaps of prestigious awards from all around the world, including an international Emmy. So just remember when we go through this webinar that we'll leave time for our panelists to answer your questions. So keep adding them to the Q&A function, not the chat. That you can see at the bottom of the screen. So let's meet our panelists and ask them to introduce themselves and describe their role in the production of Hardball Series 2. We have got Matt Zeremes, Guy Edmonds, Erin Choy, Semisi Cheekam with us today. Let's give us a wave, guys. So I'd love to hear how our guests felt about being part of this new series and how they found picking up from where they left off in the first series. So let's begin with Erin, who plays the unpredictable and always entertaining Tiffany. Erin.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Choy. I play Tiffany. Thank you, Ella, for the introduction. So basically, we filmed season 1 in 2018, but because of COVID, we had to delay and, get production. Everything was a bit crazy. But then in 2020, at the end of 2020, we started filming, and I think it was really great for us, and we were really fortunate to be able to film because things were quite tight and a lot of things, weren't to be confirmed yet. So I'm really happy we got to film it in time, and now it's here for everyone to see. In terms of our experience, I thought it was great. We got to film a second series. And not only did we win an international Emmy for it, we've been awarded and, taken so many efforts, and it's just been a really great time. And thank you, Guy and Matt, for, creating this amazing show.
It's pretty spectacular. And Erin, did you know that it's actually been shown on broadcasters all around the world? So there are kids in like Germany who have watched the show.
Yeah, I heard in Germany and France, it's been dubbed in French as well. That is so cool. Like even people who can't, they can understand different languages. So I think it's great, the diversity and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, Erin. It's so great to get those insights from you. So now I would like to introduce Semisi. So Semisi, can you tell us who you are, your role as Mikey in Hardball, and how you have found filming the second series?
Hello, everybody. My name is Semisi Cheekam. I play Mikey in Hardball. Yep. See you guys in the chat. It was really exciting to hear that we were going to do a season 2, because after season 2, it was lots of fun doing season 1. Doing season 1 was so much fun. Hearing that we were going to do season 2, I was really excited. But like Erin said, we did have a few postpones because of COVID, but we did eventually get to film it. And filming the next season was a lot of fun. A lot of new things were happening, a lot of activities. Got to meet a few new people, a few new characters. Thank you, everybody that's in the chat. But yeah, it was just an overall amazing experience to just to be a part of it again.
That's great. And, you can really see how comfortable everybody is when they came back for the second series as well. So I hope that it certainly felt that way for you guys while you were shooting it. So our other 2 panelists are not only members of the hilarious and talented Hardball cast, but are in fact the people who created Hardball, Guy Edmonds and Matt Zeremes. So these guys have worked together on heaps of other projects, including writing the book series, Zupru. So let's hear from Guy and Matt about how they came up with the idea for the first series of Hardball.
Do you want me to start, Matt?
I'd love you to start. I'll
start. So hello, my name is Guy Edmonds. I'm the co-creator, co-writer, director, and cast member of Hardball. It's the same credit as Matt. So Matt and I, we made a short film in, what would have been 2015, maybe 2015, and we was a short film for Tropfest about 2 dads who go on a play date with their young kids, and it's supposed to be a play date for the kids, but the dads end up getting quite competitive and talking about the golden days of handball and end up battling each other in this epic handball battle down by the river. And then we thought, it had such a great response at Tropfest, this big film festival, and we had a lot of people talking about their experience with playing handball when they were at school, and we just thought there'd be something really great in that idea, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah, we did. Handball was really with all the kids that we knew at the time. Guy and I both have lots of kids combined, and handball is still really popular. Which we thought was a cool sort of idea to use as a jumping off point for a TV series for kids. So that's sort of how Hardball was born. And then we, from that point, there's lots of steps that it go through. And we spoke to a production company called Northern Pictures, and they spoke very early on in the process to ACTF, and who's hosting the panel today. So, that we've been working on Hardball since then. So for Guy and I, we've been working on it for about 5 years, is it, mate?
Yeah, I reckon 5 years. We filmed the first season at the end of 2018, and there was about probably a year of development prior to that. So it's been probably a good 4 or 5 years of our lives now, and super rewarding.
Semisi and Erin have the biggest, bigger roles than us in the show, and So they're busier as actors than Guy and I are in the show, but we're really busy with the behind the scenes stuff, with the writing and directing on season 2. But yeah, so Guy and I have sort of been working consistently in the background on Hardball for ages, and it's been a really, really big, joyful job to do. Like, we love it.
Big time.
And we all love watching it as well, so thank you. And seeing as it's Media Literacy Week this week, so you've given us a bit of an idea of what goes into taking a show from the first seed of an idea into development. What are the other steps in the journey along the way of getting your series made and onto air so that the audience can see?
Well, so like these steps of getting a show to production, is that what you mean? More.
Yeah, and I guess just a view of how it goes into production and then I guess gets to the audience at the end of the day.
Yeah, so the first, it all starts with an idea. But television and film, it's made by a huge team of people. So Matt and I, we had this idea about a kid who comes over from New Zealand to Western Sydney and goes to a school and discovers handball. But we then pitched that, which means that we took that idea and we spoke about it to a production company. And then that goes to what's called a network and a distributor, which is like ACTF and the ABC. And then they go, yeah, okay, we like this idea. There's something in it. And then the script writing starts. And for season 1, it was 13 episodes. Season 2, it was 10 episodes. And, each script is about 30 pages long. So, it's about 360, 370 pages of script to make a show. And then all the other, technical team members, the cinematographer who, they look after the camera. Then you've got grips who move things called dollies on tracks, and gaffers who light the thing. And then it shoot. How long did it shoot? Semisi and Erin, do you remember season 1? It was how many weeks? Do you remember?
Season 1 was like.
Was it 8 weeks?
8, something along. Yeah,
it was
something
more. I think it was maybe 10.
I think maybe season 1 was 10 and season 2 was, so it's, a little under a week to shoot an episode.
Yeah. And I think, one of the things too is, like, a lot of people I speak to sort of think that you just turn up and start shooting it, but you spend much more time actually working on the script and getting that right. So Guy and I, for every script we wrote, we'd have to do we'd write it sort of like 4 or 5 times, because every time you do write it, we get notes on it from the people that are in the other people involved in it.
You kind of think of the script like a map. It's a map that tells everyone where they need to go and what they need to do. And if you've ever used a map that isn't right, it can make getting to where you need to go quite tricky. So it's really important to get that script right.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So let's keep digging into the behind the scenes production and creative secrets of Hardball Series 2 by taking a close up look at a clip from episode 5, Did Somebody Say Culture Day, which features 2 of our favorite Hardball characters, Tiffany and Mikey, who just happened to be here. We are going to look at the showdown at the beginning of episode 5, where the characters face each other from opposite ends of a narrow passageway. Guy, before we screen this short clip, can you give us a brief insight into what you were trying to communicate about the characters and add to the story in this scene?
What's the scene?
So it's the scene where Mikey and Tiffany are in the alleyway at the Bubblers with the ace card.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah, so it's all about, in the script, it's all about this kind of impending drama, this thing that Tiffany knows about Mikey, but Mikey doesn't want people to know about him. So, there's this saying in drama and writing shows that story is conflict. So you've always got to have conflict between 2 characters, and that's what makes stuff interesting. So, the conflict in this scene is, Tiffany knows something about Mikey that Mikey doesn't want other people to know. So that's the main idea of this.
Secret. Yeah.
And Matt, can you give our audience a few tips about what they should look out for in terms of what they can see and hear when we watch this clip in a minute?
Yeah, so I think, like in Mikey's performance, if you look closely, you can see that he's quite, there's a few little things that he's doing in the way that he's responding to Tiff, and you can tell that he's nervous. And that's what we were trying to convey, was that Mikey, it's like Tiff has power over Mikey in this moment. So you can see Tiff in this scene is got the control and the power and the status, and she's using that over Mikey. So Mikey's like, normally Mikey's quite cool and doesn't get worried about stuff. But in this scene, you can tell that he is quite worried, because he doesn't want his friends to find out his secret, that he's going to maybe go to another school.
Spoiler alert.
Look for some little things that you notice about Mikey's behavior and the way he stands and his eye contact and stuff, to see if there's any clues that you can see.
We need to talk.
About what?
The Butterfield betrayal.
Making me feel like a baddie on a TV show in old times about Games and Thrones and stuff.
Do you need to wee or something?
Oh, no, I'm just getting my walk on, Look, from my side of the metaphorical fence, I haven't done anything wrong, eh?
Except break a pact. Pact, bro.
You broke the pact too, pact, bro. Plus, I haven't broken anything yet. Just creating something scucks that'll be a 10 out of 10 on the scuck scale for me, eh?
I knew you'd kick butt at Butterfield. P.S. I was never a pact bro. I was just making up numbers.
What's a pact, bro? Always a pact, bro.
Not always, bro.
I'll tell my bros when I'm ready about Butterfield. Just don't use this against me.
Oh, yeah. The imaginary ace. I'm still holding it.
But why aren't you playing it?
Who says I'm not gonna? Playing this card could make Team Mahaki go.
Make Team Mahaki go.
If footy fails, you should defs consider a career in mime, okay?
Okay.
Good thing to note,
Right.
just on what Matt was talking about just before, good thing to note in that, what was Tiffany doing through that whole scene? She had her arms crossed, and that says a lot about how someone feels about someone else. If Tiffany had done that scene, if Erin had played that scene kind of open, it wouldn't be as scary. There's something very defensive about having your arms crossed. So that, a lot of the story is told that way too.
Yeah, through body language. So just a reminder to the audience, while our expert presenters are giving us an insight into how this scene has been put together to help tell the story, just remember that you can keep adding your questions into the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. So Guy, now that we have watched this clip, can you tell us a little bit more about the thinking behind the camera shots and framing, the editing, and the use of sound effects?
Do you want to talk to that, Matt?
Yeah, sure. Because I directed this ad.
Right.
So yeah, I think the sound effects play a really big role in this scene. You can see with the little explosions and the miming of the card and the explosion. We're using metaphor there, which is that things are going to go and things are going to explode if Mikey's secret comes out. So those little sound effects really, really effectively help us convey those ideas without doing it in a boring way where the characters just say everything that they think and feel. So it sort of allows you to be a little bit more inventive by using clever sound design. And the shots that we sort of use, the camera angles and stuff, Hardball has a really consistent way that it does.
It's called a visual style, the visual style. Yeah.
And you notice that there's little sort of moments where we pushed in and the camera got moved closer to the characters. You do that to sort of like emphasize moments and to make the audience feel for the character in a particular moment. So there's a few little times where the camera pushes in on Mikey when he's feeling really worried, and on Tiff when she's, when she is threatening Mikey a little bit. And there's also a really nice little Mikey did a little piece to camera. So for those of you that don't know, that's something that Mikey does throughout Hardball a lot. Every episode he has about 2 or 3 little moments with the audience where he just is inside a scene and he turns to the camera and just has a little chat with the audience for a second and then turns back into the scene.
Great. That's really, really interesting and great to hear that technical perspective. So Semisi, picking up on what Matt was just talking about and what he's just told us about the scene, what more can you tell us from your perspective as one of the actors in that scene?
So I know that Mikey would have been really nervous about this because Mikey loves his bros, you know. There's Sour, Jerry, and the pact that they made, and it meant a lot to him, the pact. So having that pact and the friendship, which he cares a lot about, having that at threat because he's lied about going to Butterfield, it's what worries him because he doesn't want to break his friendship, although he did go to the trials for Butterfield.
Great. Thank you for that answer. That was really insightful. And perhaps Erin can also give us a bit of a take on what was going on in the scene for her. So the mime that you're doing in that scene, that's a wonderful source of comedy. How hard was it to get them right? And what hints were you and Semisi given about how to time them to fit in with the rhythm of the scene?
Yeah, well, it was really important that we made sure that the audience would be able to understand what Tiffany and Semisi were talking about. So I think the placement of the hand, you know, just holding the ace card next to Tiffany's head kind of communicated that she had the upper hand. And in terms of status, she was higher than Semisi because she knew a secret that no one else did. So I think the placement also with the hand pointing at the card really helped in terms of that. And with the timing, I think that the reactions, for example, Tiffany kind of does a smirk and then Semisi Mikey Semisi kind of reacts to it and goes, oh, I'm in for a big one here. So I think the timing of that was really important in terms of everyone understanding what she meant, what they meant.
Yeah, and you can see that it works really well in the scene, that it's all cut together in perfect time, and it makes sense and it's funny because everyone reacts.
Sometimes as an actor though, when you're on set and you're asked to do stuff like this without the sound effects and the camera moves, you can feel a bit silly and you're like, I don't even know if this is going to work. Like what's the director asking me to do? So it was really good that Semisi and Erin trusted me in that particular instance and did what I said. And then, you know, I think you see once everyone else does their little bit on it and you know, adds the sound effects and all their bells and whistles, it really brings it to life.
It really does.
Yeah.
So Matt and Guy, just in film and TV narratives, we often talk about tone. This can be a bit of a tricky idea, but I think if you think about it as a message to viewers about how they should respond to the events taking place in the narrative or story, how would you describe the tone in this scene and the overall tone in Hardball?
Well, the overall tone in Hardball, first and foremost, it is a comedy, you know, so it's kind of funny first. But yeah, you know, a thing that's really important to Matt and I, and you know, to a lot of writers, is that things, it's one thing to be funny, but things are even kind of more funny if you care about the characters that are in the show and the things that are happening to them. And, you know, the term Matt and I use for that is heart. So it's got to have the laughs and it's got to have the heart. You know, so that's overall, like even when it's dramatic in Hardball, like that scene, you could say it's a dramatic scene in that there is one character who is holding something very serious over another character. But still, you know, by Matt in post-production, that's when the editing and the sound effects are put on, by Matt choosing to have pew, zoom, pew, all those kind of silly sound effects, it makes something that could be very dramatic still funny, because this show is first and foremost a comedy.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
No, please. That's what I'm here for.
I'm just going to ask a couple of more questions and then we're going to move to the Q&A. So quickly, Semisi, the Hardball friends use some great language. One of my favorites is totally scucks, and I do use that in my day-to-day life now. What is communicated about the friendship through the language used in the show?
You know, words like scucks and toy says, those are like big slang terms in New Zealand. And it's like, usually scucks is like something that's cool that's happening. So like Mikey bringing it up and like saying that a lot. I think that Salwa and a few of his characters bring it up as well. It's just an overall like happy environment when Skux is said, because it's just something cool is about to happen or something has cool that's happened.
Awesome. And quickly, Erin, can you describe the process of learning and delivering your character's lines?
Yeah, so from my experiences playing Tiffany, I think I had to understand why I was saying those lines and what message was Tiffany trying to send when she was basically delivering the dialogue. So yeah, that's basically it. I think it depends on the scene. And if Tiffany is mad at Semisi, if Tiffany wants to become friends, Mikey, Semisi, if Tiffany wants to become friends with Mikey, then I think it really depends on, the situation.
Great. All right, team, we are going to move into some Q&A questions from our audience. So the first question that we have here, a lot of the students are interested to know if Hardball was filmed at a real school and where the school is.
It was filmed in a school here in Sydney at a location called La Perouse. It's a school that only has around 30 students, so it was pretty easy to film there because it wasn't heaps of students there all the time.
Excellent. And did you shoot during the school holidays or was it when the kids were actually at school?
It was a bit of both, didn't it? It ran through at the end of term 1 and then it went into the holidays.
Fantastic. Our next question is from Ava, who is asking how many cast and crew were involved in the series? Quite a lot of people, hey?
About 50, probably about 50, 60.
Probably more, yeah.
In production, probably 50, 60, and then you've got, probably about the same again in post-production too,
And post-production is when they edit and do all the, the sound effects and the music and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's quite a lot of
the
people.
special effects. There's a lot of the, particularly in episodes 3, 7, and 10 of season 2, and then I think less so in season 1. But there's a lot of the balls. In fact, probably I reckon 80% of the balls you see in the handball tournaments are all VFX, which stands for visual effects. So Mikey and the team are not actually hitting balls; they're just doing this.
Very good acting.
And then
though,
we put the
couldn't
balls
tell.
in later. Yeah, so there's all that too, all the special effects.
Wonderful.
It's air handball,
Air ball.
like air guitar.
Sounds like fun. Our next question is from Hugo, who asks,
Hugo.
Semisi and Erin, did you need to attend school while you were filming?
No, we
No.
didn't need to attend school, right, Semisi?
No, I didn't attend school. I did do tutoring afterwards though, just to catch up on the school that I did miss.
The school of life.
Yeah.
Did you do sort of tutoring on set as well in between scenes? Not really?
No.
We were so dedicated to our scenes that we had no time for school.
Yeah,
Our
you were
school
studying the
was-
art of acting.
Yeah, our school was Block Street. So
You're studying.
You were at a school, like you were at school.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
at
no,
a school.
Technically, you,
at a school.
you were attending school.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wonderful. So we have a question from Daniel, who is asking, what is the most challenging part of making a TV show?
I think probably from Guy and my perspective, getting a TV show up. So getting it made, getting someone like ABC to come on board and buy into your idea is really challenging.
Because it takes millions of dollars
to
make a show, millions and millions of dollars, so it's a lot of risk in making something too, because you don't know if people are going to watch it or like it.
Then from an actor's perspective, it's probably challenging spending heaps of time on set, getting up really early, getting
the older I get, it's harder to remember lines. It's probably easy for Semisi and Aaron. You're like, I just learned 5 pages in a minute, whatever. I'm like,
nothing's hard for them though. They get picked up, they get driven places, fed really well.
Breakfast made for them. They don't have to go to school.
They've got someone that does their hair and pretends they really like them. Oh, Semisi, tell me about your night. Oh, little thing, you need more sleep.
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot harder than that. But I just wanted to let you know, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I wanted to say thank you very much to our panelists and to our audience for attending today. So thank you all. Round of applause. And teachers, we would love to hear your feedback on today's session from your students and yourselves. So we'll share the link in the chat, which I think is already there. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Australia.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
And you gotta play